Hi guys, my name is Coyote Alley. Welcome back to my channel. Today's episode, hunt for that elusive bass. That's right, I am still after my very first bass. I saw a technique watching YouTube, and a lot of people were catching bluegill, putting a hook around its back so you can keep it alive if you don't want it afterwards, and using it as bass bait. Unfortunately, in the state of Oregon, it is illegal to use live bait. Live game fish bait, and in the state of Oregon, a bluegill is considered a game fish. So we won't be using that technique today because I can't afford that kind of penalty. Because trust me, when I say if you get caught doing something illegal fishing, they hammer you here. But we're still gonna go out, still go bass fishing, and hopefully I catch something. But if you like this episode, don't forget to tickle that like button, fist that subscribe button, and get a contact with my Instagram at Coyote Alley Entertainment. And you never know, if you check out my Instagram, you might see what happens on this adventure. But for now, let's get out to the pond, and we'll start the adventure. All right, guys, so here we are. This is the pond I'm going to be fishing at. My ultimate goal is to make it out there, out to that little dock right there. But this is the bass pond I'm fishing at. I see a lot of bass in here all the time. But unfortunately, they're just so hard to catch. I have yet to catch one out of here. But I'm gonna try. So let's go ahead and head to our spot and let's start fishing. Guys, we're gonna start with this little Texas rig style octopus. I hear a lot of people say they have success with this out here, so let's go ahead and toss it around and see what happens. All right, guys, after throwing that around for a while, not getting anything, so I decided I'm going to try this little Rapala crankbait and see if we get any more action on this. All right, well, after being out at this particular spot for about 45 minutes, getting nothing, I'm actually just going to walk about 20 or 30 yards that way, and I'm going to find a different spot. So join me over there, would you? All right, after about the 5th cast of coming up with this, I think it's just time to move on. Move right there towards those rocks real quick. Give that a try. There is a reason I don't fish what is come rock spot. You can see that's why it's called that. And before you comment, yes, I am using a weedless setup, and it doesn't help. So I think with that, I'm gonna pack up and we're gonna head to the trout pond. So I'll see you over there. All right, guys, here we are at the trout pond. I am officially fishing. And some of you guys are probably wondering what that little bobber thing is right there. Well, a friend of mine gave that, and it's supposed to keep my line tight. What I found out best about it is when it's windy like it is right now, that moves more than my pole, and I have a super lightweight pole. So my pole just starts jerking wildly in the wind, and that prevents my pole from jerking in the wind. So, but all that is just a wine cork with a line running through it and a small weight. That's all it is. Nothing major. You can make them at home. He made them. But yeah, we were at this trout pond. It's not going to be very fruitful, I can tell you. This has been outfished for 20 years. I've gotten hot here a few times, only when it's freshly stocked. But other than that, I usually don't get much out here. I just like coming out here, and I mean, how can you say no to this view? Seriously, how can you say no to this view? You can see that the wind is blowing, but you see it's moving in the wind, and my pole is pretty still. So, but since the trout fishing's not going to be very fruitful, might as well take this opportunity to answer a few of your guys' questions. Question number one, I've always been asked, how did I come up with my name? Well, I was a wrestler, and for those of you who don't know, wrestling, you usually go hungry a lot of the time. When I wasn't wrestling, I was on the drum line in high school, and before a band competition, some of you guys know what a band competition is. If you don't, just look up a band field show, you'll understand. We'd always go out to breakfast, and it was always after I was wrestling, so I could eat whatever I wanted. So not only would I finish my food, I'd finish theirs too. and they said I ate like a coyote, so my name and the drumline became Coyote. And then the next year, one of the guys from the drumline watched me wrestle, and he says, wow, I'd hate to meet you in a back alley. And thus my name became Coyote Alley for 3 years. So I was known as Coyote for 4 years total. So just my freshman year I was known as Coyote. My sophomore on I was known as Coyote Alley. And even today I still get called Coyote Alley from people that knew me in high school. So that's where my name came from, guys. Alright. Well, no luck yet, but I don't expect any luck here. But might as well give you guys my tips and tricks on how to be a better trout fisherman. These are my personal opinion. You know, this is just what I find the most success at. You want to know what it takes to be a successful trout fisherman? That is what it takes to be a special trout fisherman. All these are different. We got artificial worms, eggs, we got cheese, we got trout pellets, or hatchery pellets. This stuff works really well when they're freshly stocked. If the pond is not freshly stocked, they won't eat on this at all. We got chartreuse. Chartreuse and chartreuse garlic work really well. I am currently out of the chartreuse garlic. But we got turbo dough. Now turbo dough, and this is the rainbow version. I do have a rainbow version non-turbo, but the turbo dough actually stays on the hook better. The longer it stays in the water, the harder it gets. So the turbo dough is really good on certain water conditions. We got our extra scent sherbet. And then we got fluorescent red. I always carry this with me. I caught a brooder a few years ago on the fluorescent red. Here's the rainbow non-turbo. This is the extra scent. We just got yellow pellets. I don't like these so well, but you know, I've caught a couple. And I got my regular sherbet. This is the stuff that I work really well. I generally don't like the extra scent because I always put this on my power bait anyway. So the extra scent doesn't really do me any good. But corn yellow is currently what is on my hook right now. And then fluorescent orange. So you do, I hate when people trash it. But so all this stuff here, good for different things. Now I do have a few that I don't have with me today. There's one called Nymph, which is purple and black speckled. It works really well when it's raining. And as you can see, it ain't gonna rain today. So I left it at home. But I decided to throw it to this side of the lake. Normally I throw to that side, not getting any luck. So I decided to throw to this side of the lake. Still nothing, but you never know. But yeah, that's what it takes to be, in my opinion, to be a successful fisherman. And I'll put one color on. Like right now I have the corn yellow is what I have on right now. I'll wait 10 or so minutes. If it doesn't work, I put it in my bag and I go to the next color. And honestly, guys, a lot of fishermen are like, oh, well, you only need one power bait. That's not true. I find that some ponds, reds and greens work. Some ponds, yellows work. And sometimes orange works. So this particular pond, I have found that the chartreuse, which is the stuff right here, the chartreuse, and this stuff work really well. So obviously kinds of greens work really well here. Not getting any luck today, but you never know. You never know. I'm just going through my stuff. So like I said, I got corn yellow. It's going to go in my bag. I carry a separate bag. With all my power baits in it because it's a pain in the ass to put them in here. But in here I've got spinners and just everything, because sometimes I find that they bite really hard on spinners versus power bait. So, you know, sometimes it's always nice to have a variety of stuff with you. But if you just want to get started, you really, my personal opinion, if you just wanted to buy two things of power bait, buy a green and an orange or a green and a red. For some reason, those combinations work really well. My wife has a combination she calls a strawberry. She puts a little bit of green on and then the red on the bottom. So it looks like a strawberry when you throw it in the water. She seems to get pretty good luck at that. So yeah, if you wanted to get started in trout fishing, you really only need a green and a red style power bait. But you also need to learn that right now, the water is extremely warm. These fish aren't going to be anywhere near the top of this water. Because trout are cold fish, cold water fish. They love it cold. So with as warm as it's being right now, they're going to be deep down. So there's no reason to put a bobber in the water because you're never going to catch anything. That's why I am currently on the bottom. And yeah, so there's my tips and tricks for you guys. Alright guys, well, that's going to do it for my fishing adventure today. The fish won today. But if I can get 10 likes on this video, I'll go ahead and head out to a place called Walter Worth. It's about a 2-hour drive from me, but I have never been skunked there, so. And remember, if you like this, don't forget to tickle that like button, fish that subscribe button, and get a conjugal with my Instagram at Coyote Alley Entertainment. And we'll see you in the next video. Peace.